And all the players, after winning against Huddersfield, after winning against Cardiff City, we are back! To win! Let's celebrate! All those things in social media. And against Manchester City, against Arsenal, against Tottenham, against Liverpool, these are the real tests, and they'll disappear like Mr. India. All will disappear like Mr. India. Who needs Linkin Park? Who needs Linkin Park to be numb? These players, these Chelsea players have made me numb. After this.
We saw absolute massacre on Sunday. Absolute massacre. I mean, I've seen bad performances. Manchester United, we've been on the wrong side of some of them. 6-1 versus Man City. We've seen Chelsea beating Arsenal 6-0. I mean, not to dig any more holes in Arsenal, but Liverpool beating Arsenal 5-1. Man United 8-2. Spurs, Man City beating Spurs 5-1. I think the only team who ain't really held a beating in like the last 6 years is probably Man City. They've lost games 4-2.
Well, Chelsea beat them 6-0 in 2007.
Yeah, that's like 11 years ago. Yeah.
That was probably their last time they held.
But when did their money come in? It was about 2008, something like that. So yeah, since they got the money, everyone else has held a beating. Sometimes at the hands of Man City. Even Liverpool, Liverpool lost last year 5-1, isn't it? Apart from Man City, and we saw another one. And I'm gonna play this video from the guy's name is the Angry Rantman, Chelsea fan. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's absolutely hilarious.
There is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression, there is no fucking mindset in this football club. Nothing is there. What the hell is there in this football club? Tell me now. What the hell is there? Last 16 years, this much defeat I've never seen. 6 fucking nil. You for sack a defensive coach for not getting the results. And now you appoint the
So I'll put it.
That's all the first part.
and you expect
I'll put it into the.
What do you appoint attack-minded coach for? What do you appoint? To get battered and embarrassed 6-0 at Etihad? Like this batting, for this batting you appoint. Attack-minded coach. Sarri-ball, it's in Sarri-ball. You won't give any players, you won't give money, nothing you'll give. You loan out players and you expect them to play Sarri-ball. Loan ball, shut ball that one. Shut ball. And this type of performance is simply not accepted. And the players have to just resign and resign all the wages, sack all their wages, that's it. For 1 week. Not for 1 week, for 1 month. For 1 month that should be sacked. Marcos Alonso, this is the 7th time. This is the fucking 7th time I'm calling out your name. You are just an absolute shambolic defender. Shambolic rubbish defender. You don't deserve to play for Chelsea Football Club. You don't deserve to wear the badge. Get out of my club. Club is paying you grands and grands of money. Grands and grands of pounds. Grands and grands of euros. Not for you to sleep. Not for you to fucking sleep. For you to fucking defend. For you to fucking defend and have contact with the opposition. Not to daydream sleep and behave like Pablo Escobar with a weed. And people call me a disgraceful fan. For what? For showing passion. For caring for the club. Where are the players? Where are the players? All will turn off their phones. All will turn off their phones to switch off mode and airplane mode. They'll not even come out. They'll not even speak. Nothing they'll do. And we fans have to watch every single season battering shambolic performance and keep supporting. Because I love this club. We don't deserve such nonsense. We don't deserve such ridiculousness. We have been battered. We have been shammed. 4-0 in the first 30 minutes. We are playing against Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, not against James Bond. In 30 minutes, 4-4-4, 5 minutes will get smashed. Not like that. 4-0 in 30 minutes and 6-0 at full time. And we started the week with 4th position. On 4th position, and because of goal difference, we are now 6th position. Where is that gorgeous lady in the board? What she's doing? She's taking all the fans' money and just buying makeups. Not buying any players. Not buying anything. She should first get sacked. She should first get. The question Disgraceful, awful, rubbish, kind of performances. And all the players, after winning against Huddersfield, after winning against Cardiff City, we are back! To win! Let's celebrate! All those things in social media. And against Manchester City, against Arsenal, against Tottenham, against Liverpool, these are the real tests, and they'll disappear like Mr. India. All will disappear like Mr. India. Even if you put red light, you can't find them. Like that it is. Like that the condition is. These are the mindset of our players who are getting grands and grands of money, wages as weekly wages, and this is the attitude of the modern day football players and of our players especially. No nothing, no ambition, no passion, absolutely rubbish. I'm sorry. Who needs Linkin Park? Who needs Linkin Park to be numb? These players, these Chelsea players have made me numb. Performance, and after this shambolic nonsense performance, I'm out of here.
It's a second time I've seen that, and it is actually that's actually the best thing I've seen all season. I swear down. And for me, the part I got, man goes, who needs Lincoln Park to be numb? And these players have numbed me. Nah, I'm dead.
Mad.
But what is wrong with Chelsea? What's the problem?
Listen, everyone has to hold that L once in a while, man. I mean, once in a while, we've had it bare time. We catch it once a season, so
Just once.
at least, at least. So, boy, listen. I didn't think they were gonna win, but and I've been right in my predictions a few times, but I didn't see that coming. I didn't see them getting a 6-0 away to Man City.
Nasty. That's disgusting.
No injuries really. Like pretty much the first team available for him to choose. Tom,
who is injured?
Well, I mean, Kovacic didn't play. Barkley played, but I mean that was down by choice. It wasn't due to injury. You know, Pedro played ahead of William.
Yeah.
That was by choice.
Yeah,
full team to choose from, and you held a 6-0 away from home. That's mad. The guy's right. I mean, would that really have happened under Jose? Would it have happened under Conte? Well, I didn't, did it? like none of that.
The proof is there.
So I mean, and with Kante on the pitch as well. But I mean, is it because Kante's not playing DM? I mean, Jorginho was being pressed like mad, like they were onto Jorginho, and we saw it against Arsenal. When you stop Jorginho playing, there's a link.
You pretty much stopped Chelsea.
Yeah, you stop Chelsea. Well, obviously Hazard can do his thing, but the link play it just breaks down because he's the person that's supposed to be creating. They wanted the DM to play the anchor to more creative and not the defensive nous that Kante has, and there you go. You get bang 6.
But who is at fault for this? Because I know everyone's going to be saying it. You know, it's when Sarri going to get sacked because Abramovich is history's best qualified, isn't it? Abramovich don't usually waste time. Maybe he's already written, as Drifty said, the death certificate's there, just waiting to be signed in it. And it's just about, end of the season and we get rid of him. I don't know. But the thing that the guy said at the beginning of the rant, I think he mentioned basically bringing an attacking manager with all these defensive players. What direction do Chelsea want to go in? Because if they were to get rid of Sarri now, it could be a case of the manager not being good enough. But if it's a case of these players are not good enough to play attacking football, if you were to get rid of Sarri now, do you bring in a defensive manager to get the best out of the players, or do you bring in an attacking manager and get in better players? And I think something else. I think I was speaking to you. The other day we talked about Jose Mourinho and the difference. You can say the difference between him and Solskjaer, so to speak. He's gone in with his Jose Mourinho. He went in with his style, and the players, whether the players that he bought, the players that were there, weren't able or good enough or willing to play his style of football. He would need players that will play his style of football. Yeah. Solskjaer's gone in there, and it's a case of making do with what he's got. So, what are the strengths of the players? This is what we're going to do. Now, they've obviously brought in Sarri to play what they call a Sarri-ball. Do they stick with that direction? And because you're going to get this until you strengthen the players or get the players that can play that style. Yeah. This is what you're going to get. Yeah. Or do they just scrap the whole thing and say, look, these are the players we got. Let's get in the manager. You can get the best out. And you're going to end up with a Conte or Mourinho again.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's partly the players, but Sarri has to take a massive blame for it. And for me, it's the whole the whole game changed when you play Kante in DM. For me, the whole game changed when you play him in DM. And I feel like his stubbornness to not do that, to play his own way, he's not working for Chelsea. As it may have worked in Napoli, fair enough. But for me, bringing that whole style from what worked over there into the Premier League and trying it is fair enough. But if it's not working, it's time to start changing. And I don't think he will. We talked about before about how stubborn managers can be in their mindsets and how they want to be. Maybe you need to bring in someone that's a bit more flexible. At the end of the day, Sarri was never going to last 5 years at Chelsea anyway, because no one ever
don't
does.
work like that.
Yeah, so him being sacked after the first year, surprising. You could say so, but wouldn't. It's not as surprising if it was for an Arsenal or Man United or Tottenham, because this is what Chelsea do, and so they're now just expecting and waiting for it. Who did they bring in? Well, he ain't been sacked yet, but I mean, do they go down the Man United way and bring in an ex-Chelsea player like Frank Lampard to rejuvenate the players?
Or a John Terry.
Or
He's the assistant at Aston Villa at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, or a Didier Drogba.
Well, they got Zola, who's the assistant. I don't know, but the thing is, are they like? Would they bring them in if they were to do that? I know we're speaking like Sarri's been sacked. He may not get sacked. But if they were to bring in, would that be an interim, or is it like, okay, a long term vision? Because the thing with me, and I've spoken about it before, I'm not a fan of managers being sacked in general, especially not in the middle of the season. And I
am. No, you're not. No, you're not. But
the thing is, it's like, as I said, unless you're getting relegated, the Premier League money is there. Chelsea ain't strapped for cash. Like, and as long as Ramone is willing to spend money, they'll never be strapped for cash. So, of course, missing out the Champions League has a financial impact, but it's not the same impact as, if, say, Arsenal, because we know that the board isn't going to invest, or a Tottenham, for example, because they don't have that kind of money. Man United, Man City, Chelsea, missing out on top four. They will still put money in to get back into the top four. I think when you bring a new manager in, you have to give them 2 years to really stamp their authority and their mark on the team. Look at Jurgen Klopp. He went into Liverpool. Okay, they got to Europa League final and Capital One Cup final, or so League Cup final, whatever it was at the time. I think it was in the first year. Lost both of the finals. But they finished outside the top four. Next year, I think they finished possibly inside. I can't remember the whole timeline. Last year, they finished fourth. But now, okay, of course, they got to the Champions League final. But now, you're finally seeing the rewards, the benefits of the manager being backed, the manager being given time. If Jurgen Klopp had gone to Chelsea and didn't get into the top four in the first season, he may have got sacked. Yeah. Because, no, we need results now. Pep Guardiola, first year went to Man City. They finished fourth on goal difference. They just about scraped into Champions League. I'm not saying that he would have been sacked. Van Gaal got into Champions League. He wasn't sacked the year. But the next year, Pep did what he did. Compared to Van Gaal, for example, the next year, we went backwards. All right, 2 years, you've had the time. It ain't working out, go. Mourinho, first year, won the Europa League, got in the Champions League. Next year came second. So he's done 2 years. The team has progressed in terms of statistically anyway. Third year, all fell apart. You have to get rid. He's had the time to put his stamp on. I think if they were to get rid of Sarri, even at the end of the season, I think it's unrealistic. Where do you go from there? The next manager you bring in, they have to get it right in the first year, or they're gone again.
The thing is with Chelsea, though, it can happen. They can get rid of the manager this year, and they can win the league next year. It's not unrealistic. It's not. Yeah,
but what do they want? Is that what they want? Just to win the league intermittently, or do they want to build something? Do they want to?
They want to win the league intermittently. That's what they're.
So why are they bringing in Sarri? Because Sarri never won anything. So they I don't know. It's like it seems like again we're talking like he's been sacked. He hasn't been sacked, but the last few years it's showing. It seems like okay, they want to win the league intermittently, or bring him in, win the league, fell apart. All right, get rid of him, bring someone else win. But now they seem to be going down possibly a longer term route by bringing in Sarri. But then there's people saying, Sarri's not this, Sarri's not that. Is it possible that they can put Kante into a defensive midfield role and still play Sarri-ball?
Maybe not, but the thing is with Sarri is that for me they saw a manager in Napoli, who they believed in his style could win trophies at Chelsea. That's the only thing that they would have seen. All Chelsea see
immediately. They finished 6th last year.
Yeah.
Man City and Liverpool in the league.
Yeah, but that same thing happened with Chelsea when they bought in Conte. They finished 7th, 8th, or whatever, and then they won the league. Worse than that. Yeah, so like they have a target in their mind. For me, Chelsea's target is to challenge for the league every year. Like even if they finish outside the top 4, their still mindset is the players we got, the money we spend, the money we pay players. You should be able to win the league every year. It's not like a Arsenal where the financials are struggling, they're not spending any money and they can't get back in or whatever. It's no, we give you the money to go win the league. You don't give you 60 million players to try and get us £60 million to try and get us back in the top 4. And there's probably a realistic opportunity of saying, okay, fair enough, get top 4 first year, but then go for league. But get a trophy at the end of the year. Yeah. Like they're looking at.
We're in the League Cup final.
Yeah, they're in the League Cup final. Listen, they're in every trophy.
In the FA Cup.
They're in every trophy this year. So they're getting up with a treble this year, and it's all good.
It'll be the triple. The treble has to be Premier League and Champions League. That's the Liverpool treble. That one that they're in.
But for me, Sarri is obviously not. He's not going to change the way he's doing it. I mean, I don't even know why he brought in Barkley for this game. For me, he should have done it maybe in the Huddersfield game or whatever. But to drop Kovacic and bring in Barkley, for me, just weakening a midfield. Because if you're going to play a 4-3-3 like that, you'd probably rather have Kovacic in that sort of game. Why would you take out Kovacic and play him a more attacking player who's going to be going forward to try and score goals against Man City?
But look at the stats. I ain't got them in front of me, but City had 56% possession to Chelsea's 44%. That don't usually happen. Like Man City usually dominate possession. I think shots in total, I think Man City maybe had about 3 or 4 more. But obviously clear cut opportunities. Man City were much more. I think that like expected goals like 3. Chelsea were less than 1. So you can see the amount of chance they're creating. But clearly he went like, I'm going toe to toe with Man City. And maybe because there's 2 ways in it. You could think, all right, let's try and sit back and go against what I've been trying to drill into the players just to try and get a result. And you probably still won't get a result because Man City are so good, especially at home. Or he might be looking as a dress rehearsal. We're probably going to lose this game anyway because they're better than us. Let's go out to see what we can do because we got the League Cup final the week after or 2 weeks later. And maybe just to gauge his players, how his players can play that style against top opposition. Because for me, it doesn't make sense you going to Man City trying to go toe to toe unless you're literally just either trying to prove a point to whether the board these players aren't good enough to see for yourself maybe whether they are good enough or not. But clearly they're not good enough. And they either need to be sold to get players who can play Sarri's style, or Sarri has to be sacked and they have to get someone who can get the best out of the players. They've got Alonso playing left back, who is a terrible defender. They got rid of. I know some people don't rate Moses, but they got rid of Moses. Zappa Costa doesn't play. They're playing Aspilicueta as a right back, and he's getting older. He ain't got the legs as he used to. And then the midfield for me is messy. I don't rate Kovacic. I don't rate Barkley. Got rid of Fabregas. Kante's playing the wrong position. And then they got Hudson-Odoi. He's on the bench. They're begging for him to stay. And they're not playing him. So I don't... maybe he's just... I don't know. He's trying to prove to the board that I need to buy more players. But it looks like... I say looks like. It might just backfire.
Yeah, I don't know what his mindset was. But the thing is, that squad of players he put out shouldn't be getting beaten 6-0 anyway. Like, they shouldn't be getting beaten 6-0 anyway. Like people, you got Eden Hazard's one of the best players in the world. Higuain's he's a natural goal scorer. Like, he's banging last week. Like, defensively, Chelsea aren't bad. Haven't been bad this year defensively. They've not been 6-0 bad defensively in the year. I know they've had some issues with David Luiz and stuff at the back, but overall, their defensive record isn't that bad. So they shouldn't be getting beaten 6-0 anyway. But it's just about, for me, it's a massive statement in terms of the mindset of the players, and it's difficult when you're playing them against Man City. Because when they do start going, it's hard to.
Yeah.
It's a mentality thing, isn't it? And I think like, especially like with the fourth goal of Gundogan, like Kepa would normally save that, but for me, sometimes your mentality kind of you're 3-0 down, you're thinking, let me try and get a hand to it, and you just like, oh, it's gone in. It's like, oh my god, it's 4-0, and it's like then you have to kind of rejuvenate second half, and then the 5-0, and it's just like you just want a game to end, don't it? So it's difficult against a team like that when they're so rampant against you. But there was nothing in that team that said, all right, let's stay strong in this. Let's hold it together and try and win the game. It was still, let's play Sarri-ball. Let's keep going. Let's just pretend like we're not 4-0 down and carry on playing the same way. It's like, it's mad.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it is. But let's see. They got obviously Europa League this week. I guess it's all the Europa League ties played on the year, and then FA Cup on Monday. Actually, Monday. Are you expecting Sarri to be here next year? And if not, or if so, what will determine whether he is or not? Should I say?
I don't know.
Because he hasn't been sacked yet. Like it's been the match was yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get sacked. I don't think he's gonna get sacked before the League Cup final. I'd be very surprised if he gets sacked before the League Cup final. I don't think he'll get sacked. Oh, it's difficult, man. I don't think he'll get sacked.
You think he'll go next
Roman,
season?
I don't think Roman necessarily reacts on a one-game basis. He's not that sort of manager. I don't know, they haven't really had this kind of defeat in a long while, but he's not one to react.
This is their biggest defeat. The thing is, it's the biggest defeat since 1991, but the last 2 away games, 4-0, 6-0. It's not just a complete one-off. And as the guy said, lost to Arsenal, lost to Tottenham. So all the big games where these people are supposed to turn up, they're not turning up.
Yeah, but then if you're looking long term, and they are in the League Cup final, they're probably still one of the top 2-3 favourites to win the Europa League, and they're in the FA Cup.
Would you still put them up there even after like those kind of?
Yeah. I mean, the players. The thing is, at the end of the day, you got to look at the rest of the teams in the Europa League, and they're all bad. So they're not like...
Is including Arsenal?
Including Napoli. They're all bad. Including Inter Milan. They're all bad. There's no one great in that tournament. So they're all just as bad as Chelsea. Like, so on any given day, any one of those, let's just say those 4 teams, could win the Europa League. Do you know what I mean? Like, so Chelsea are still up there as one of the favourites to win it. They're in the FA Cup where only Manchester United and Man City out of the top 6 are left in it. So, and one of them two is going to go out. So if they do meet Man United, they only have to play Man City again, possibly. Obviously, if that was to happen. So, I don't see, unless Roman can see what he saw when he sacked Andrea Villas-Boas, and Di Matteo comes in and they win Champions League, then I don't think he will get sacked. I don't think he will get sacked yet. But the thing is, it all started. Remember, I told you this when he came out and had that rant after the Arsenal game. How was that going to affect the players?
But you say it all started. But the fact that the Arsenal game happened and the Spurs game before that, clearly it started before that.
No, but it started with that rant as to we're all waiting now to see the reaction. Because that was the big come out of, this is my approach. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come out and say, now react. You lose 2-0 away, you lose 4-0 away, you lose 6-0 away. Okay, you beat Huddersfield 5-0 in between. You beat someone else in between as well.
Beat Spurs in the League Cup.
In the League Cup.
Yeah.
For me, that's 6 games. Is it 6 games? The reaction, I said at the time, I don't think it's going to help them. I don't think it did. Like, I mean, you can't base this whole on this, but, you do that for a reaction.
Yeah.
You do that for
there
something.
hasn't been a reaction.
Yeah, it hasn't.
I agree. Well, there definitely hasn't been a positive reaction. I don't know if there's been a negative reaction because there's been bad performances. Even the reason why he had to come out, because there were such bad performances. The results weren't as bad. 4-0 against Bournemouth and 6-0 against
They're 2 of the worst results of the whole season. Both of them.
Yeah. Well, they broke their own record because the 4-0 was their biggest defeat in the Premier League, and then 2 weeks later they broke it 6-0. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. You think they get top 4? Obviously, they dropped down to 6th.
Listen, that race for top 4 is open, man. I know people.
It's over, man.
It's open. It's open. Like, there's 1 point in it at the moment, and there's a lot of games to play. There's a lot of big games to play. There's a lot of small games to play, which can determine it just as much. So, they're not out of it, man. I think all three teams. You have to look really, because we football fans are so fickle as well. We always say we jump too early, man, and we say they're out of it. I know we said Man City we're gonna romp with the league, not gonna challenge, but no, we have to look. We have to look at the table and say, okay, they're in it, Arsenal's in it, Chelsea's in it, Man United's in it. If Man United lose the next 3 games,
they won't.
and Arsenal win the next 3 games, and Chelsea lose their next 3 games, then Arsenal are our favourites because they're 9 points clear. Yeah. So there was that. No, how would other teams gonna make it up? Because there's so. But it's like it's up and down, man. I mean, you have to look at it and say form wise, Man United are favourites, but I mean. Then you look at the game wise, and they got to play Liverpool, and then the Champions League is back.
We got Liverpool at home. We got Man City at home. We must have Chelsea at home as well, innit? Yeah, because we've only played them away. We drew 2-2. So and then we got Arsenal away.
Yeah.
Who have you got?
We've got Spurs away, and Man United at home. That's it.
Like, you played Chelsea twice.
Out of the big 6.
Yeah. And Chelsea have us. Liverpool. No. They drew Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. Had they played them at Anfield?
No.
I don't think so. They got us and Liverpool. Spurs?
I think they got Spurs.
Possibly. I can't remember now. No, man, they must have played Spurs earlier in the season, because when did they play Spurs? They lost 3-1. Wasn't that in January?
Oh yeah, early January.
Yeah, so
that's probably the second game.
That's what I think that might be the second game. I think they might only have 2 as well. Yeah, so
it's hard, man. There's a long way to go. And they said Champions League is back, so Man United's obviously going to be having to base their fixtures around that, like he did successfully on the weekend. But yeah, it might be a time when you do pick that risk and it doesn't work, and you're not that bothered because you still got a good chance of progressing through Champions League. So any points dropped anywhere, everyone's looking to capitalize on it.